Ramadan Kareem, everyone. May Allah forgive you and bless you and make your dreams come true. Please pray for me and pray for all of us. So as promised in the last video, in the unit 2 revision video, like couple of minutes that has all important and repeated questions, I promised I'm going to look and try my best to find other notes, and I did. So let's get started. Here I'm sending the message. Important questions and revision PDFs for AS Excel Biology. Good luck, everyone. I hope this PDF you find it very useful, and yeah, let's pin it and let's get started. We're doing in this video some Unit 1 notes, Unit 1 revision. Here we have Unit 1 asterisk questions, Unit 1 revision notes, and Unit 1 repeated questions. So, question number 1. Explain why water is an effective molecule for transporting other molecules around living organisms. Because water is a solvent, water is slightly charged, water is a polar molecules can dissolve in water, so water is viscous, water as a liquid assists may flow. Type. Suggest two differences between fibrinogen and fibrin. Fibrinogen is a globular and fibrin is fibrous. Fibrinogen is soluble and fibrin is insoluble. Describe the blood clotting process. There is a cascade of events. Thromboplastin starts the cascade. Thromboplastin is an enzyme. Thromboplastin converts prothrombin into thrombin. This needs calcium ions. Thrombin converts fibrinogen into fibrin. Mesh of fibrin forms. Platelets get trapped in mesh. Describe how the structure of an artery is related to its function. Elastic fibers allow stretching to accommodate higher blood pressure. Folded endothelium allows stretching to accommodate higher blood pressure. Smooth muscle can contract. Smooth lining reduces friction. Narrow lumen. Describe the circulation of blood in a fish. The circulation of blood in fish. Blood flows from heart to gills. Blood flows from gills to rest of the body. Blood flows from the body back to heart. This is single circulation. Suggest advantages that the human circulatory system has compared with that of fish. Blood flows faster to the body. Blood flows slower to lungs. This reduces risk of damage to lungs. More efficient gas exchange. Suggest why small organisms do not need a specialized gas exchange system. Because only a short distance from source to cells is inside the body. Diffusion alone is sufficient. They have a low activity. Question number 8. Explain why many animals need a heart and a circulatory system. Heart is needed to pump blood around the body, allowing mass flow. Many animals have a small surface area to volume ratio. Circulatory system is needed to overcome limitations of diffusion. Many animals have a high metabolic rate. Explain why multicellular animals require a respiratory system. Diffusion over external surface is not enough. Smaller surface area to volume ratio. Respiratory system has a large surface area. Diffusion will be too slow. 3 prepared by whatever. This shouldn't be too slow. 3 prepared by near throat heart. Okay. Question 10. Suggest how circulatory system in mammals enables efficient gas exchange. Mass flow is generated by heart. Moving blood helps maintain a concentration gradient. A steep concentration gradient gives a first rate of diffusion. Network of capillaries, large surface area, increase the risk of diffusion. Capillaries have very thin walls. Diffusion is fastest over small distances. No organs are far away from blood. Efficiency is related to double circulation. Question number 11. Describe the role of the heart valves in the cardiac cycle. Atria contract, which is the atrial systole. Atrioventricle valves open so that blood flows from atria to ventricles. Ventricles contract, ventricular systole. Semilunar valves open so that blood leaves ventricles. Ventricles relax, ventricle diastole. Semilunar valves close to prevent backflow of blood to ventricles. Describe the role of the atrioventricle valves during the cardiac cycle. The valves separate atria from ventricles, open during atrial systole so that blood can pass through ventricles, close during ventricle systole prepared by near cohedury to prevent blood being forced backflow. Open during diastole so that ventricles can start to fill up. suggests why a faulty atrioventricular valve could lead to symptoms of breathlessness and lack of energy. Valves do not shut properly. Some backflow of blood from ventricle to atrium. During ventricular systole, lower blood pressure, less efficient supply of oxygen, and blood pressure in lungs increase. Describe the structure of a mammalian heart. There are 4 chambers. The atria are on the upper side and the ventricles on the lower. Septum separates the right and the left side. The walls are muscular in nature. Heart is made of cardiac muscle. Ventricle walls are thicker than the out of atria. The atrioventricular valves are between the atria and ventricles. The semilunar valves are at the base of the aorta. 16. Describe the atherosclerosis develops. How the atherosclerosis develop. Damage to endothelial cells of artery. This is very important, guys. Cause an inflammatory response, migration of white blood cells to the area, buildup of cholesterol, formation of atheroma, narrowing of lumen, and the process of perpetuating. Describe the location of the following structure and explain their functions. 5. Prepared by near. Okay, guys. Okay, whatever. Describe the location of the following structure and explain their functions. Semilunar valve location, base of the aorta to function. Prevents backflow of blood during atrial systole. Elastic fibers location. Mid-layer of the wall of the vessel. Function allows stretching to prevent damage to aorta. Explain the difference in thickness of the wall of the right atrium and the wall of the right ventricle. Right atrium has less muscle. Thickness is related to blood pressure required. Right atrium pumps blood to right ventricle. Right ventricle pumps blood to lungs. During the cardiac cycle, the change in pressure that occurs in the left atrium and the left ventricle are different. Why? Because the pressure changes are smaller in the atrium than ventricle. The atrium has less cardiac muscle than ventricle. Atrium does not have to push the blood as far as the ventricle has to. The increase in blood pressure begins in the atrium before the ventricle. Atrial systole has to happen before ventricle systole in order for the ventricle to fill with blood. Increase in atrial pressure causes increase in pressure in ventricle. Question 20 and last question to do for this video. Explain why the heart is divided into a right side and a left side. Because it keeps oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood separate. This results in as much oxygen as possible being carried to tissues. Different pressure at each side of the heart. And bye.